Welcome to Entropy. So I just saw the Nerdist YouTube, where it is explained that the reason that Luke dies in the Force Awakens is due to tainted milk. Luke dies. Can the internet not see context anymore? Look at the context in which it is presented, in the context of the larger film. What is the story of Luke about? Not just what happens, not how he's trying to overcome what is the base level of his story about. We have him hidebound from his mistakes. He goes off in a hermitage, and we expect that he's gained wisdom, but we see that he hasn't. He's a sad, strange old man. This hermit has not achieved enlightenment, right? So we follow him as he's teaching Rey. And the thing that when he eventually decides, okay, fine, Rey, I will teach you. I remember, for instance, where he's trying to explain how to feel the Force, and it seems like a throwaway joke where he's poking her with a bit of tree, and he says, "The tree, that's it, that's the Force. Do you feel the Force? It's right there." There's more to that than you might think, because what he's talking about is he's mocking her for her trying to feel the Force like it is a concrete and physical thing, when it is a transcendental emotional thing. The Force that binds all of us is not going to be like a tangible sort of substance. It is going to be internal and profound and transcendent. That word's going to come up a lot. So later on, we find out that he's very, very profoundly reverent of these texts, and even though he would throw away all of what he's done, what he's done as a Jedi, and feels that that's wrong, these concrete physical items are somehow important to him. He gets a vision where I guess they're called Force Ghosts now. Force Ghost of Yoda shows up, and it does a thing that Force Ghosts have never done in the series before, and he causes lightning to shoot the things, and the texts burn in the tree. When the tree burns, it all burns. But that is literally them showing that this thing that a Jedi can become has power in this realm, where before you just sort of felt like, oh, that's Jedi afterlife, Force Ghosts, they can advise you or something. In fact, I'm going to cast you back even further. Remember when Obi-Wan says before he dies, "If you strike me down, I will become more powerful than you can possibly imagine." I hope he says that, because otherwise I'm misquoting the thing. Anyway, he says to Vader, "If you strike me down, I will become more powerful than you can possibly imagine." But what do they do with that in the original series? How do they pursue that line of logic? Do they? He shows up as a Force Ghost. He shows up to advise Luke. So we are meant to believe that this is a nebulous sort of power, the power of guidance, and the power of passive acceptance. But here we see a Force Ghost showing up and calling down lightning, showing that no, there is something to this thing that happens, and it doesn't happen to every Jedi. You see plenty of Jedi die and they don't, right? Only a couple of them do. And it looks like only when they kind of mean to. And they are Jedi Masters when this happens. You don't see a whole lot of, like, brand spanking new Jedi vanishing. And so what that is has been left pretty nebulous and vague. Now, he's struggling internally with the idea of letting go of these concrete things. He's struggling with the idea of not attaining the thing which he expected to become and to find when he became a master, that didn't find him when he was teaching, that has eluded him as this sage old hermit, where you would expect sage old hermits, they have the ultimate wisdom. No, he doesn't. He's just as conflicted until he does this thing where he realizes he does have to take part in the world. And he reaches out and he projects himself across time and space. Now, many people think that the strain of doing this upon his body made him die. His heart gave out and it was the last thing that he could do. I don't think that's what happened. I think that he projected himself across time and space, something that we've never seen done by any Jedi. And he has this epiphany. You can see it in his eyes, where he's coming. There's certainly strain. There's certainly physical strain, but he's coming to this realization of the scope of what it means to have just done what he's done. And the only conclusion you can come to when you've just projected yourself across light years of space-time is that the physical self may not have been as important as you thought. And so he takes deliberately the next step. The whole arc is about him letting go. And in those scenes where many people say that he's dying, he lets go of his physical form and becomes one with the Force. We hear his voice guiding and teaching Rey in the previews of the next film. It wasn't a death. Also, his metal hand disappeared, so all of the parts of him that he considered the self went away. The clothes stayed, but the metal hand went away. That's because he has done a very deliberate act. He has transcended physical space and become something more. Taoism. Yeah. This was in many ways entropy. You're probably going to see a lot more of this style of thing, rather than the Let's Plays. Let's Plays are never what I meant to be putting up on this channel. I've been meaning to put up stuff a bit more like this. Not terribly researched, I expect, but this, I think, is a bit more sustainable and honest. Maybe better? You tell me. Please like, share, and subscribe. No, really, like, hit the buttons. It helps the channel. And, like, share it with someone, at least one person. Because, like, there's 3 of you watching. I love you all, but I would like more people to see this. Alright, so this has been Entropy, and will continue to be Entropy. You're literally Entropy. That's going to be the topic of another video, but not yet. Not yet. Okay, bye-bye.